Hello everyone, welcome to Redbus US channel. In this video, we'll look at the Trump travel ban that expired yesterday, basically March 31st, 2021. And we look at what it means for visa stampings and what are the other details regarding that. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, do subscribe for getting regular updates. So firstly, to understand more, this was the presidential proclamation that suspended the entry of H1B, L1 and others to get visa stamping. This was actually signed by Trump when back in when he was the president, right? And it was called Proclamation 10052. It was actually initially came in June 22, 2020, and on December 31st, it was extended for another few months, 3 months until March 31st. So this is what was part of that, as you can see on the screen, right? They say that the proclamation shall expire on March 31st, 2021. And it did expire, but we have not really seen any update on extension by White House or any other official websites. And the reason for that is Biden administration did not want to get extra attention on this because these are kind of sensitive related jobs and everything. And also they had this big infrastructure package that they were actually talking about right yesterday. So they didn't want any attention taken out because of this H1B travel ban lifting, right? So that's why they didn't really talk about it, and it did not really come out in any news. So the closest confirmation we have got is this from an official US consulate from Mumbai today. Basically they said that it expired, 10052 expired on March 31st, which means that anybody can apply. Let's look at that in a second, right? So this is the closest confirmation you've got, but there was some press coverage on this. This was something that was reported like early in the day and yesterday, by Bloomberg and also Wall Street Journal, that said that it's set to expire. But again, there was no press briefing or anything whatsoever, similar to what they did for immigrant visas. So this was kind of just set to expire rather than they're making a big news out of this. So but bottom line, it's expired and now the proclamation does not apply anymore. Now what does it mean, right, for for anybody who's going for visa stamping or who are stuck outside of the country, right? So first thing, the proclamation basically, once it's gone, there is no restriction to get US visa stamping, or enter US, and it's applicable to all the visas, H1B, H4, L1, J1, whatever we had as part of that. So technically in the past, what used to happen is, as you can see on the screen, if you were to go for visa stamping and if you're not part of that exception list, you would get a form, something that looks like this, and which says that, they have saying that ineligible for visa under section 212F, under of INA. So this is something that was given to many of your users, section 212F, and which clearly tells that they're not giving you visa because you're not eligible for it. So even if you've got one of these in the past, so now you can actually go and apply for visa, but the only thing is you have to pay for the fee and again, right? So you were getting some of these things if you were to go, but now you won't get any of these, so because the proclamation does not, or regular executive order, whatever, both of them are used interchangeably. So now it's gone. So now there is no restriction to attend in-person US visa stamping for H1B, L1, H4 or others, right? And there is no restriction even for Dropbox as well. So this is actually very, very big, right? So many of the applicants who went to Dropbox, some of them had these concerns. So there were some people who were actually getting stamping done, even they were not exempt. But again, it was a hit and a miss, right? So there was a chance that you could basically get one of these 212F kind of a slips, but now it's all gone. Right now, what does it mean for US consulate situation? So there is no change in consulate operations. So the proclamation has nothing to do with the consulate operations. So it's primarily driven by the country situation, how they're coping with the COVID situation, right? So for example, in India, the consulates are not fully open yet, and there are only limited slots available. And as you can see on the screen, this is the official tweet that was actually put up today, telling that they're still there is a temporary suspension of consular services because there is an extreme amount of demand, and they say that you monitor our slots, and they're basically giving a very, very limited slot due to limited operations. So now lifting the proclamation, lifting the travel ban doesn't mean that you can actually get a slot. So now the challenge is to actually find these consulates open so that you can book a slot and get stamping done. So the good part is at least it's taken off now, everyone can get it. But the second part right now is actually having the consulates open. So overall, it's a very, very good news for a lot of people who are stuck outside outside of the country, now they can actually freely go back and pursue their dreams to work in America, or if they're stuck outside of the country, they can again go back and come back to America, right? So it's actually a very good sign. So now it's only up to the consulates how they handle this. So that's it, folks. So we'll put a link in the description for you to check more details on the history of this and everything. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Do subscribe to our channel for getting regular updates.